person in this world experiences the same problems in different variations, but they're the same fucking problems. And everybody has become the person they choose to be. That's it. There's nothing else. Everybody's a good person on the inside. But some people choose to bring it out and others do not. That's just the facts. You know this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I used to really want it to be a reason why some people. News for the fifth dimensional conscious beings. Looks like we used to use our brains way more than we used to use our inner guidance system. And now we have an inner GPS that the previous generations do not understand or comprehend. So we are being misunderstood because we're making decisions that look irrational, but they're perfectly in line. News for the fifth dimensional conscious beings. Looks like we used to use our brains way more than we used to use our inner guidance. The dumber you are, the smarter you are.
They can go drive in there. Can you enlarge that? That's what I'm trying to do.
The only thing you can know of God is the portion of God that you are. You can't know anything else. So don't talk about Jesus Christ coming back in some external form when the only way you could experience Christ is within your own experience. Let's be real. The only thing. Have you ever considered that you're not getting what you want because what you want runs away from you and you only can really get your true desires that are burning in you? Have you ever considered that? Why do you keep talking about wants instead of the one thing that includes all the wants, which is your burning desire? Why is that? Have you ever considered that God says he creates evil and good in the Bible, and then that means that he created the devil too? What is the devil if it's only one power of creation? The devil would have to be some illusion, because illusion doesn't have real power, but it can deceive you that you don't have it. You ever considered, I got a perfect spot for all the vegans. Here we go, baby. Time to change your life, literally. I got a perfect spot for all the vegans.
Is astrology real?
Yeah, astrology is real. First of all, you're real. Astrology's not. You are the one that astrology culminates to, like a little, pie, apple pie, cheese pie, bean pie. It all comes together as multiple ingredients. Every single zodiac sign is an ingredient, and you are that.
How did astrology start?
Your mama, okay? Because when your mama had you, it was a convergence of every single planet onto one point. That was you. So every single zodiac sign and every planet is you. Okay, so yes, astrology is real. I don't understand how you can't see this. It's crazy that you can't see this, but if you could actually see what we're talking about, it's like so obviously real. You could have, I don't know how you have no vision. How do you not have vision? I can't understand this. Explain it to me. Where is your vision? Okay, so yes, astrology. If an elite class of very rich people wanted to get richer, but everything on earth was already purchased, then they would create a metaverse and they would create the same products in the same land and charge infinite money, actually invisible money, to transfer back into physical money on earth so that they can rule the population and keep them in their Oculus goggles. If in the industrial age, Henry Ford wanted to send kids to school to learn how to be good employees, almost machines, so that they can build an industry up, what happens when artificial intelligence can take the place of those machine people? What happens to the human beings? The human beings become obsolete, or they have to take themselves to a new dimension of reality. You choose. If I was China and I wanted to destroy the American population and mindset, what I would do is I would create this app where you can mindlessly scroll forever. But what I would do for my people is I would make sure my people had limitations on it. They wouldn't be able to watch those videos at night. They wouldn't be able to watch stupid content. What I would do for the Americans is I would let them watch anything they wanted, as much as they wanted, and be as addicted as they possibly can to it and distracted while I take over. This man said that the potential for the metaverse is bright if we understand our power in it. But how can you have power in a system That is a game somebody else made. You don't have any power. You are a product. Know the difference. Stop being bamboozled and fooled. This man's, I've seen the future. I've seen the future. Okay, me and Hannah was just talking, and this is what we think. Evangelism is really telling people about the power of their own thinking, not telling them about some God outside of them. Facts. Okay, me and Hannah was. Repeat after me. I only accept the money and wealth that is divinely mine. That
Oh, the brother got a Hannah Montana. I'm just reacting though. Pretty much everything he said good though.
that belongs to me energetically, that matches my integrity, that matches my spirit, and matches my light. Thank you for it coming to me with grace and miraculous ways. Repeat after me. My teacher told me that the reason most billionaire children become billionaires themselves is because their family tells them they can do anything. When the brokest of the broke, their parents and family tell them they can't do anything. Know the difference. My teacher, sometimes we don't appreciate what we got. This is God's artwork, but you God's artwork too. So you got to recognize that what's been created is to be enjoyed, including yourself. Love yourself. Say it with me, God. I'll put in the quantity, you put in the quality. Say it. What if the universe was conspiring to actually make you successful? And what if every challenge that you ran into was to make you stronger and have more faith? Because that's what's required in order to succeed where you're going. Think about it. What if I'm about to tell you something about Target you probably didn't know. Target does not have any collar shirts for men. None. I mean, zero. By the way, don't go to the mall before 9 a.m. because look at this. There's no one here, bro. I mean, literally nobody. And I just want a collar shirt to go out. I left Target and I'm now leaving the mall and I still don't have a shirt because I have no idea where to get one. And I'm about to tell you something about our lesson in life, bro. Nobody really cares. Nobody coming to save you. I don't care how sad you feel. I don't care what kind of a sad story you have. Nobody really cares about it because they got their own. And you got to go do it yourself, period. Our lesson in life. This is what my teacher taught me. He said, Josh, when you start to dream about the thing that you want, understand that there will be no how. So don't ask about it. Just know that it's yours and then go forward and it will magnetize to you in some miraculous way. But never ask how, because that is outside of the range of your knowledge. It will show up when it's. I'm not saying don't participate in the metaverse. I'm saying participate consciously. Participate with your thinking. Because if you get people to be more lost in a thing that doesn't exist, how is that going to help you or anybody else? It's just going to make people more lost, more disconnected, more violent, more suicidal, right? But if you actually use this stuff to create health cures or give people the experiences that they can't have physically, but it gives them hope, gives them inspiration, then it's different. But you can't give no inspiration to somebody if you've taken them into a reality that just doesn't exist and try to create an identity there. That's worse than what we're doing already. I'm not saying don't participate. Success is a decision away, because when you make a decision, you turn away from what you're sick and tired of and you look at what it is you're born for. There will come a day when you can no longer act like you like things you do not. You'll just have to accept yourself as you are. That's going to be a beautiful day. I made some comments about the metaverse, and this young lady decides to make a comment on my post. Somebody else chimed in on the post with her, me too'd her, and here's her last comment. I don't know, it's crazy to me. You're going to do what the wealthy do because you want to be wealthy yourself. All folks got to do is educate themselves. Heart face. The rich and wealthy don't follow what someone else owns. They own it, or at least control it. You can't control the metaverse, sweetheart. That's someone else's. You would have to create something of your own if you wanted to own, if you really wanted to be wealthy, if you want to be wealthy at that level. They don't do what you're doing. You're a product. No matter how much money you spend or how much money you make there, you're a product. But stay cocky. I'm so grateful for human design because human design showed me if I'm living in my purpose as a projector, then success is going to be my natural way. And if I'm not living aligned with the way I'm supposed to live, then I will feel bitterness. Those two experiences are so recognizable to me. And I'm so grateful that I can, when I recognize it, I also acknowledge that I'm on the right path or I'm on the wrong path. It's just a tool of self-awareness, and I'm grateful for it. Thank you. I'm so grateful. I'm learning on my manifesting journey that it doesn't matter what you know. Unless the knowledge is organized and directed at some aim, that knowledge is useless and powerless. But we're under the impression that knowledge is power. I'm learning on my billionaire mentor told me this. He said this. He said, you are going to be an average of the top 5 people you hang around. And I said, I don't exactly know how I'm supposed to just change who I hang around and get around millionaires. He said, you do not have to get around them physically because the body doesn't know whether something is real or fake. It accepts every stimulus as real, even imagination. So what you can do is you can create the image of the mentors you want around you, read their books and personify them to yourself and hang around them more than you hang around your friends, and you will eventually be like them. Pro tip. My billionaire mentor told me this. He said this. He said, you are going to be an average of the top 5 people you hang around. And I said, I don't exactly know how I'm supposed to just change who I hang around and get around millionaires. He said, you do not have to get around them physically because the body doesn't know whether something is real or fake. It accepts every stimulus as real, even imagination. So what you can do is you can create the image of the mentors you want around you, read their books and personify them to yourself and hang around them more than you hang around your friends, and you will eventually. What's helping me on my spiritual journey is learning that when I hold on to people, I'm holding on to them because I'm mourning the loss of their connection and their friendship because they're good people. But in order to go where I'm going, I have to detach myself from them coming along with me and me controlling that process and controlling that selection process. And I have to just go. If they follow me, they follow me. If they don't, they don't. But that's what leaders do. That's what I'm noticing, and I'm practicing it more. Stay tuned. What's helping me on my spiritual journey? I'm on day 20 of practicing law of attraction to manifest my best life, and I feel content on day 20. I feel like I literally have everything I want and everything is done. And I feel completely in control of my life. I feel completely in control of whatever direction I want to go. I have full control of everything. That's what I feel today, and it feels incredible. And if y'all want to learn, day 21 of using law of attraction to manifest my best life, and here's what I remember. I remember back when I was in a sales office, and everybody in the sales office would come to the sales meeting and wait to get motivated to go out there and sell. And I remember what set me apart from the other people was I would walk in and already had an inspiration, I already knew where I was going. I wasn't waiting on somebody to motivate me. I had my own reasons why they were strong. Whether they were going to help me or not, I knew I was getting there. And that is the difference between a person who continues and actually has what it takes to win. You can't wait for somebody else to come motivate you. Motivation is BS. Day 21. Interesting thought. What if God's mind is actually man's mind in an all-knowing state, meaning it is our subconscious portion of our mind? What if that's God? Interesting. Have you ever heard the phrase fake it till you make it? Let me tell you why it's an interesting phrase. It's an interesting phrase because you can't really fake anything in consciousness. Consciousness exists. It has an effect on the physical world that's been proven by quantum mechanics. So if I'm faking it and I'm thinking, then I can't be faking it. I must be creating. Faking it is creating it. Have you? Day 27 of manifesting my best life, and I realized anger is our ally for a second, because being angry at something lets you know exactly what you do not want, and then you can turn around and direct all of that angry focused energy on what you do want, because that's the moment of clarity. Dime. I have to remind myself every single day, if you got a dream, if you got belief, if you got a vision, but it's not backed in action, you're living a lie. Taking action now on what I believe in, on the opportunities and things I have in my environment now, is key to success. I love y'all. I have to remind. So what I found, I've been looking for a version of myself that I can improve and make better. And I'm thinking that by the process of adding and the process of making myself better, I'm going to reach my highest self. But what I'm realizing about the perfected self is that if it is to be perfect at all, it could not be perfect in time, because time would only add things to me or subtract things to me, and anything that could be added or taken away could never be the complete perfected self in the first place, because what would be there to take off or add on? So I realized that the perfected version of myself actually exists here and now. That's the only way to get to access it. And the way you access it is by belief. Not believing in myself or believing in anything else. Just going into the state of belief clears everything except your true self out. Belief is the key. So, okay, I'm about to say some success advice that's completely controversial and opposite to anything you've heard. And I heard it from a billionaire. So listen up. My mentor told me this. He said, Josh, you do not need skills. You do not need a network of people. You do not need a personality. You do not need anything to make money and have the life that you want, except one thing: a clearly defined aim and a burning desire for its achievement. If you have that and you maintain that, and it's the only thing you think about, you will get it no matter what skills you have. Here's what I noticed. Most of us are not really paying attention to our attitudes through a day. How do you walk from the bed to the kitchen is just as important as if you call 100 people on your list today, or you close a deal or sit in front of a customer today. It is just as important. How you go from how you eat your food, the seconds between stabbing the chicken or vegetables and putting it into your mouth, the time between stabbing and eating, what are you like in those small moments? We don't notice that every little small thing matters. There's no existence where things are disconnected. Everything matters. Here's what I noticed. Most of us are. My millionaire mentor told me this. He said this. He said, Josh, when you listen to all these gurus and these YouTube teachers, how do you think they made their money? Do you think they made their money through business and actually making something for themselves? Or do you think they got rich by teaching people like you? And of course, the idea came back and I said, well, damn, they must be just getting paid off teaching people like me. And he said, you need to know who to listen to. You listen to people who, A, have what you want, B, have been where you are, and C, ultimately, you listen to your gut, your instincts. Pro tip. Okay, story time. There were 3 people arguing over what something was. One person saw a gray, smooth space. Another person saw black lines up and down. Another person saw white with lines in it. Each person said that the thing they were looking at was different. But when you zoom the picture out, one person was looking at the toenail of an elephant. The other person was looking very closely, zoomed in at the tail itself of an elephant. And another person was zoomed in on the eyeball of an elephant. But they were all looking at an elephant, thinking that they were looking at different things. This is what happens all the time when a teaching get misconstrued, because you're looking at such a small part of it when the whole thing is missing what it's connected to. Wisdom from a 30-year-old man. If people tell you that you can't do it, it's because they don't know how to do it. Facts. Wisdom. I believe that when no one is helping you climb to the top, it is because God wants to show you what it feels like for it to just be you and him and what you can do with that. Because after you realize what you can do with God only, you'll never ask for help from someone else again. I believe that when you want to do something and you reach out for somebody for help and they don't give it to you, and you use that anger, that upset, that disappointment to do it yourself, figure it out from scratch. So if you're afraid of rejection, I play this game that got me over rejection problems. I actually set a goal for rejection. If I get 100 no's in a day, that is a success to me. What it does is two things: protect my mind from no's being negative, and number two, it gets me to yeses. Little tip. So if you're afraid of rejection, when you have faith, you influence everybody's mind around you. They will do things they would never do, give you things they would never have given you, and even your enemies work for you unconsciously. They don't even know what they're doing. Faith is the power that controls everything because it is an invisible power on the plane of causes, not the physical power on the plane of effects. When you have So I asked my mentor this. I said, why is it that people who are so negative, so competitive, so angry in their energy, so congested and so toxic to the environment make money? How is it that God would allow those people to make money and create wealth? Well, here's the key. Law of attraction works regardless what religion you are or how nice or evil you are. Here's the point. They direct intense negative emotions of competitiveness, and they base their entire identity and feeling good about themselves on how much money they make. So with that intense focus and that intense energy toward one goal, it creates the ball of attraction necessary to attract money. But here's what else. They also attract negativity, self-hate, challenges that you don't want. There's another way to manifest. You can manifest with positive energy, loving something, and you'll get the same money, but a lot more. So I asked my mentor, your gut uses impulsiveness to speak to you. This is why ADHD people have an advantage. Use your superpower. Your gut. You can multitask, but you cannot multifocus. You can multitask and do some things okay, but you cannot do anything at a high level. You need to realize focus is more important than multitasking. You can Okay, so think of this. You are all consciousness. Your physical body is the universe. So every thought you think is programming your physical body, right? Well, we thought we were just limited to this physical body. Our body is the entire physical universe. So every time that you think a thought, you program in the entire universe to be that. Stay awake. Okay, so look, you might have been trying to use law of attraction, but it's not working, right? And it's not working for a very particular reason. It is because you are not thinking about what you want most of the day. You are thinking about what you do not want most of the day, or you are just feeling bad. And feeling bad means you're thinking about what you don't want. And what makes you feel bad is you do not have a true, definite chief aim that is a burning desire in your mind yet. You do not have an obsession. If you don't have an obsession, you are not going to get anything. I don't care who you are. I don't care how you think. I don't care how you feel. Sometimes you must be obsessed all the time or the majority of the time in order to get something. This is how the universe works. And if you do not understand this, you will keep trying to get stuff without obsession. It does not work. Look, you might have been. Okay, this is a 3-part question. Why did you lose interest? Why is it so hard for you to get obsessed again? And how do you get back to that point? First, why did you lose interest? You lost interest because what life you have right now used to be your ideal. It symbolized growth. It symbolized progression. Okay? But now it just symbolizes stagnation, which makes you lose energy. Why is it so hard for you to get obsessed again? Because it's a muscle. And your fear of what you will look like, how foolish you'll look, getting excited about something, but the possibility of it failing makes you apprehensive about getting excited about anything else. That's gonna hurt your chances.
My life be like, yeah. My life be like, yeah.
So in the Hermetica, it explains that the physical forms that we live in, called these physical bodies, is not our original body. This is the composition, meaning the mixture of the parts in a certain way that expresses, but it's not the actual body. So when your body dissolves or you die, actually you're losing senses and returning back to the original body that could never be destroyed. The original copy that makes the copies on every incarnation that you have and every incarnation that you make. So there is no death in the sense of it's gone. It's just you lose your senses. You lose your senses and return back to the original light body. So that's the same case for everything else in existence. So death is not dying. It's returning back to your original body. Very different than what we think. So in the Hermetica, this is how I see humor. Most humor is degrading, bashing somebody else, commenting on something that shows them that they broke and that they can't afford something. That ain't funny. That's a tragedy. People literally making jokes about being broke and not having. Bro, that's not funny. That's disgusting. That our thought process could go that backwards. That's crazy. You gotta watch. Keeping up appearances is completely exhausting and fake. That alone should be enough to make you not do it. But it's not enough. People literally have to lose their souls before they wake up to the reality that they're lying to themselves and that lying to yourself is empty. It's sad. Don't work with people who manipulate, who lie, who cheat, who steal, who say one thing and do another, who act like they're your friend, but they snakes behind your back. They'll try to sue you in 1 second and they try to befriend you in the next second. They have some leftovers and they act like it's their first and say, here, I gave you something. Don't fuck with people like that. Those people liars, they manipulators, they cheaters, and they never go nowhere in life, especially from here going forward in 2022 and beyond. People too spiritually aware for that. Don't work with people who manipulate, who lie, who cheat, who steal, who say. Okay, this video is about the mental health of the spiritual community. Here we go. The mental health community should be the spiritual community, but the spiritual community is sometimes the breeding ground for mental illness. Here's what I mean. People who go into spiritual communities do not ground a lot of their assumptions in anything that can be proven or anything that can be tangibly experienced or transferred to somebody else. So you telling me that I have to believe that crystals, astrology, and prayer is real, but you can't show me a way that it works in your own life. If these spiritual people actually practice what they preached, they actually could show it in their lives. But since a lot of them don't, and they just adopt ideologies about what's possible without experiencing it, they are no better than a dogmatic Christian or a Republican or Democrat. The only thing that you see is confusion. This is the mental state of the spiritual community. Let's fix that. Okay, this video is about So since mental science studies the laws that governs the mind's effect on physical matter, what I use those laws to do is to create wealth, to create health, and create happiness for myself. And I teach other people how to do it for themselves. The number one thing to do before you learn mental science and the laws that govern the mind's effect on physical matter is you have to first know who to listen to. You have to know who to listen to. You cannot listen to your mom or sister about it. You can't. You have to get accurate information from people who work these principles and get results with their mind alone. Now, the mind affects your physical body, so they do take massive action. But do not mistake activity for achievement. It's people who work a lot and don't get any results. They're not mental scientists. The people who work very little and get massive results are. So since mental science, you asked for a book, right? You got it. Edinburgh Lectures on Mental Science. This is the book, and it's a library of other books in here. Thomas Trower is the premier author on mental science. If you want to know about that, you go directly to him, no one else. You ask for a book. Quickly off the tongue better. The smoke get me good, comes off tongues better. This is cold and wearing guns weather. Guns are blazing. Maybe you another haven and you behaving. We got cold in it, exposed in it. I just exposed in it. I just did another dose. I just put another piece of toast and bread inside of my bank account. And I don't even know my bank amount. It don't even matter. It's energy that I'm giving out. I divvy out the best vibes and I pick them out. I say you take it home and spread it to families and it'll multiply. It's like the Grammys slap the shit out. You can't say nothing and I ain't press buttons. This is a meditation, mentalism, transmissions, vibrations, and man's missings. And UFOs came down, took them up. The land's missing. The crop circles, the Stephen Urkel, the Bill Cosby shit, all of that. It's all commercials. It's like the circus going round and round with the things. And I don't know if you know what's going on, but they taking your mind and they splitting it. They doing you in. They putting nukes in your brain and doing you sins. The sin is stupidity and dumbassness and ignorance, low classness. Need to get your ass kicked or something. That's the universe. It's gonna kick your ass for me. I don't have to speak. I just leave and do my thing. I twist and turn. I give me burns. It's Mrs. Burns. I think it's something I should earn. It's not my turn. It's a Yui, a bust of Louis. I make sure that you got your Gucci and Louis. But what is that to you if you ain't good inside? If you hiding things in your mind, you still suicidal. And I don't know if you got the title, but you want it badly. And when you get it, you gon' sadly realize that that's not the end. You need more and need more until the end of your life. And you know you ain't living this right. So that means that God is coming on you. You're about to see, about to wake up. Now you're not smoked like Jamaicans. Now you're seeing light things. Now you're seeing aliens. Now you're seeing geometry in your dreams, baby. You seeing the flower life spreading through your brain. You seeing third eyes open, something that's insane. You seeing light beings. You think you made a light and you right. You're seeing super flights. It's not even UFOs that can fly higher than mine can. And you say, I am. And that's the truth. Yes, Sam, I am. Yes, you can. You open a can of whoop ass on the universe. But you gotta open it on yourself first, because it's all you. I hope you know. I hope the flow connecting. I hope the floor is erection. It's good. I like it. I want to spend it. I want to get it.